Hello and welcome. My name is Megan Lucky, and this is A Lucky Life. Come along with me as I try and get to know myself better and hopefully help you get to know yourself better too. Un, deux, trois, quatre. Episode 4. Just had to show off my new and improved French skills since I've been here for over a month. Yeah, I'm fucking bullshitting you. I actually had to watch a YouTube video like 7 times to pronounce number 4 for me. Because I forgot it and didn't know how to say it. So, on that note, let's start with a Madeleine because I need a little snack. And, you know, it's funny. I don't know why I keep fucking buying these. I don't even really like them. Aren't they supposed to be better in France? They're not. I like the ones from Starbucks in New York better. The macaroons are definitely better in France, though. But not the Madeleines. The texture's good. But the taste is not that good. There's something different about them that I don't really like. I'm going to start with a tarot card. And I honestly think I'm going to start with a tarot card basically for the foreseeable future. And then I'll do the other decks of cards that I have later on. But the reason I want to do a tarot card reading, at least in this phase of life, is just because the other cards, they're all basically positive. Whereas like you can get negative tarot cards. And that's why I like it so much. Not negative, because even the negative tarot cards have a positive meaning that you can take away from it. But you know what I mean. So let's do a tarot card. Let's see what the message of the day is. Oh my God. Oh no. It's the Tower card. Do you guys know what this means? Oh boy. Oh my God. This is a scary but powerful card. My heart is like racing really fast right now. Okay, the Tower card usually means like a big change in your life. Let me read it. Surprising external events may lead to change. People and things you rely on for support may no longer be there for you. Expect at least one ending, but it does not have to be bad, as with each ending there is a new beginning. Allow yourself to give in to the flow of nature and try to move toward understanding these events. You may find sudden illumination. It's time to clear out the metaphoric loft, letting go of the junk from the past and moving on. It can be uncomfortable if you let it, so avoid feelings of insecurity. The Tower can also imply a period when chaos rules. Mars is the Tower planet, gives you the energy and focus to propel you through this stage. You may need to adapt to changing situations quickly, and titanium quartz will support you through this, helping you make decisions and understand the things going on around you. It also centers the emotions. When you are feeling all over the place, the base chakra holds the energy to drive you forward to make and accept your transformation. So ultimately, it will be good. Whatever this drastic changes. Also, sorry, side note, I'm trying to be better at like looking at the camera because some of you guys alerted me that I'm not doing that and I'm looking at the screen, but it's so hard. It's so small and tiny and invisible, and I'm easily distracted and by how beautiful I am. I'm just kidding. No, but that's only if you're watching on YouTube. So anyways, back to the Tower card. I am nervous, but it is what it is, and it will lead to something positive down the line. So sometimes change is hard and uncomfortable, and I've talked about that in so many different metaphors already on this show, but it is necessary, and it can be a really good catalyst for good things to come in your life and positive change to happen. So maybe I will let you guys know once I realize what this Tower moment is. And it could just be like letting go of old beliefs and some kind of ending, some kind of transformation and change. So we already know that's kind of what I'm doing now anyway. So maybe it's just that. Maybe I continue to face uncomfortable truths about myself and let go of limiting beliefs and leave those in the past. Or maybe it's something else. Whatever it is, it will lead to growth and better times. All right, let's move on. You guys, this trip is going by so fast already. I'm already in Florence, Italy, which is stunning, beautiful. I just got back from doing a little bit of shopping, even though I shouldn't have. You know what? It's okay. I earned it because I have been on the farms for the last 4 weeks, and I wanted to feel like myself and do a little shopping because as much as I love being in nature and doing outdoorsy things, I'm also a city girl too. Like I need a little bit of glam every now and then. So yeah, and I looked like absolute peasant troll the last 4 weeks. Other than doing the podcast, I've tried a little harder for you guys, but every other day in between, it has been really not my finest looks. But it was fine because that's kind of the point. That's why I wanted to disconnect and be totally myself and connected to spirit and the world without having to, I don't know, make myself up and present a certain way. Even though I like presenting like this too. You know what I mean? Like it's all about balance. All about balance and moderation, baby. But I am really glad that I did the 4 weeks on the farms in France, and I would not take a second of it back. I'm really glad that I also did that first, and I'm doing now solo traveling and yoga retreats second, because I really feel like I earned this now, and I also really feel like I'm way more present and able to enjoy this even more than I would have before and be able to appreciate and notice more. So let's talk about that actually for a second. I also don't think I really took the time to explain to you guys what I've been doing for the last 4 weeks and how it started and why. So I did tell you that I couldn't figure out whether or not I could make this trip work financially and just like logistically for a while. So when my friend suggested Workaway, it changed everything for me because growing up, I loved being involved in outdoorsy activities and helping others. Like that was always something that I was interested in. So my friend told me about Workaway. It's basically a program that you get to travel and live with a host person or family that needs your help on the farm or with the business, as long as it's like some kind of volunteer work that they need from you, even if it's just like helping around the house, nannying, lots of different opportunities. And in exchange for your 5 hours of work a day during the week, you get to live there and eat there for free. Or not for free, it's an exchange, I guess. And you're bringing value to both parties. I used to do these kinds of trips and pay for them. Like when I was a kid, my friend Steph and I, we used to save up our lifeguarding money to go do service trips for a week or 2 weeks. I was so excited to go do these trips, but I had to like spend all my money, my little hard-earned money on them. So you have to pay like $70 or whatever for a Workaway membership, but that's nothing in comparison. So I was like, this is so great for me. Let me think about how I can make this work logistically. But I also didn't want it to totally take up all of my time because then I wouldn't have time to travel. And I really am glad that I spaced it out the way that I did, because as great as the experience was, don't get me wrong, like only positive things to say, it was still kind of draining to be living as a guest essentially in two different people's houses for the last month. Like they were great people, but it still takes a lot out of you to be a guest for that amount of time. So I really felt ready at the end to just be on my own and get to the next step of finding myself totally independent from that kind of energy, if that makes any sense. I connected with a bunch of different hosts when I was still in my planning phase, and the two that I ended up going with were both farms, which kind of worked out because I think it was a really good way for me to get that nature that I felt I'd needed from being in the city for so long, and another good way to feel like I could connect with animals and be of service in a way that felt right. So what did that do for me? There was a lot of things that I expected to happen, didn't expect to happen, happened, and a lot of in between. And like I said in the last episode, I put a lot of pressure on myself to have everything figured out as soon as I got here, which wasn't the case, like I said. But one of the things that I really wanted to work on was cutting down the time and energy that I'd spent consuming social media, like just mindless scrolling. And I also wanted to create more on social media and start this podcast, of course. So check to starting the podcast, which is a huge one. Trust me, it's a huge one. But I definitely started out still mindlessly scrolling, even though I didn't have much service and the Wi-Fi wasn't great. Like, but not before bed every night, I kind of did mindlessly scroll on TikTok and checking Instagram like normal. So I was disappointed in myself. Like, I definitely felt like, oh, I wanted to go and fix this. And again, I needed to give myself space to let it happen naturally. And after I had made that allowance mentally for myself to give myself less shit when I wasn't as diligent as I hoped, I truly have seen the difference it has made in the last few weeks. I just realized it the other day. I was like, oh my God, I'm spending a lot less time consuming social media. Not completely cured, don't get me wrong, but a lot less time. I haven't really gotten that much creation done. I haven't even wanted to really promote the podcast that much. I also think it's because I'm still a little self-conscious about it, and just that will come in time. It will come in time. And so will the creating content. But what I noticed about spending less time on social media, I'm more present. I was just sitting at the farm and looking out at like the forest behind it and just seeing how beautiful the different colors of leaves and trees were. And I do that sometimes for sure, but it felt different. There was something that felt different about it. And it looked saturated. And I was like, holy shit. It's so bad that my mind goes to saturated because of the way that you edit photos. But I was like, wow, these colors are so bright. The details are popping out at me and I'm appreciating it. And they're just trees. It's not like they weren't even they were nice trees, but it wasn't even like some stunning tree that I've never seen before. It was pretty standard looking trees, but I was just in awe of them, if that makes any sense. Also, when I was traveling from my first host to my second host, I took a train, and I don't even want to fucking talk about trains right now. I've been on so many trains the last 48 hours. I want to blow my brains out. But I took a train, and then I looked up from my book, and it was the sun was setting over the landscape in the south of France. I took a moment, and I was like, holy shit, I'm really here right now. You can't get this in America. As much as you love America and as beautiful as it is in a lot of ways, you can't get some of the charm and this old natural buildings and landscapes that they have in Europe. So that's why I really think traveling is so important. You can't get everything in one place. You need to leave your comfort zone to experience different things sometimes. And this was so amazing for me. I teared up. And I remember saying thank you to myself and just being like, I'm so glad that I'm here right now. Thank you for bringing me here. I had a moment with myself and my spirit where they connected and high-fived each other. Yeah, this is right. You did a good job, Megan. Thank you for bringing us here. I really do believe that everybody has a source energy within them that connects all of us, kind of like the humanity that I talked about last time, just a more spiritual way of talking about it. And we have a spirit that observes our thoughts and is present in our body, but they're two separate things. Our minds and our bodies are separated from our spirits. So my spirit was happy that I brought myself here. And how cool is that? I'm actually going to read a little journal entry too from that night. It says, the train ride from Bordeaux, OMG, ... I was buried in my book and I got some great insightful reading done, but I looked up and my breath was taken away at what I saw out of the window. The most beautiful scene of sun setting, I literally wrote a caret because I forgot it, of the sun setting over the lush and classic ancient landscape, colorful, charming, and just stunning. I wrapped up my place in the book, listened to some fitting music, and wow, I had some magical moments. Also, I made the best playlist for this trip that's just every song that I could think of that has ever made me feel something. It's a whole range though. It's all over the board. Anyways, Deep thoughts about the beauty and appreciation for life, my life, the people in it, all just trying to do their best on their own personal journeys. And once again, I felt in my whole body that I was exactly where I was supposed to be. And I thanked myself for bringing me here. I had tears in my eyes, a moment I hope I never forget. Glimpses of my life and future being on track and wanting to be doing all of this for me. Learning how to be better, not just for everything and everyone else, but because I deserve a good, happy, long life, and I want to help understand my value to be able to motivate myself to put in the work, because it's hard to do the things that allow yourself to have a good, happy, long, healthy life. I want to talk about this on the podcast this week. Good Wi-Fi here too. I hope I can utilize my time even better this week. A couple things that stuck out to me. One, that it is hard to give yourself a good, happy, healthy, long life. There's a lot of work that has to go in to give yourself that. And sometimes the short-term happiness is easier to justify and makes more sense in the moment. But once you start to learn and understand how to give yourself a good, happy, long life, that's when the value of yourself kind of comes into play. Whether or not you value yourself enough to kind of start working for these things long term, it's hard. You know, you have to eat healthy, you have to exercise, you have to be working on your inner world, you have to be making money for your long-term self, not just your short-term self, which I'm working on. You know, like it takes discipline, and it takes a lot of reflection and balance and uncomfortable challenges. But you have to want that. You have to want to be willing to undergo those discomforts in order to give yourself more comforts and a more fulfilling life in the long run. And I think that's something that I've struggled with for sure throughout the course of knowing how to get there and not doing it. I also think that one of the things I said in there was that I want to do it for me. And I don't want to just be bettering myself for the people around me that insinuate I should be doing something better or doing something differently. I want it to be for me, because change that comes from other people isn't sustained, and it's not from the right place. And it doesn't work. It simply doesn't work. The only way to change yourself is by really, really wanting it for yourself. I would definitely be lying if I said that other people weren't involved in me wanting to go get better and heal myself. So I had a moment on the train where I was like, no, I do deserve a good, long, happy, healthy life. And I really want to work towards that. Even if it's not linear and perfect every single day, I really want to work towards that. So I'm really excited about this second half of the trip. I've already eaten up way more time than I realized today, and I didn't really give you anything juicy and funny, but this was what it was supposed to be today. So that's what you're getting. And I love you guys. I'm really, really grateful that you listen to this. It's really rewarding for me to build and find my voice and have any type of connection with anyone else is really powerful. So thank you so much. And I'll see you next week. And I don't know what to expect, but I'm going to Rome tomorrow. And then I'm going to a national park outside of Rome to do a yoga retreat after that. And I'm really excited. And then I have another little yoga retreat in Greece and some more solo traveling in between and after. So I can't wait to share what comes next with you guys. But before we go, I will take one of these Crush Your Goals cards, because like I said, we can end with the fun cards that are positive, because I am still a little shaken up over that tarot card. So let's get a positive reminder, even for after that tower moment happens. Good reminder for all of us today. Oh, here we go. Oh my gosh. It's always like so fucking aligned. Okay. Baby steps, baby steps, baby steps through the office, baby steps out the door. It works. It works. All I have to do is take one little step at a time, and I can do anything. I love it. Bob Wiley. On that note, baby steps, everyone. Hello and welcome. My name is Megan Lucky, and this is A Lucky Life. Come along with me as I try and get to know myself better and hopefully help you get to know yourself better too.